Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast. Join your host, Nicole Cox, as she dives into the real stories, tips, secrets, and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside the trade world. Nick is here to help you break free from the grind, reduce money stress, and build a trade business that truly works for you. So grab a brew, put your phone on silent, and get ready to be inspired.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to a solo episode here on the Tradies in Business podcast. We've got a special event coming up before Christmas, and so I wanted to jump on here today and talk you through not having to work through to Christmas in stress and chaos this year. For those of you that are already starting to think, here we go again, it's December now as this comes out. You're already working late, you're juggling jobs, fielding questions from the team, wondering how you're going to get everything done before shutdown without working all the way through to Christmas. Sadly, you're not alone. There are lots of trade businesses that are in the same position. And we're in the same position because we do a really good job of saying yes when we should be saying no. We make a lot of choices, make a lot of decisions without clarity and mindfulness. And unfortunately, we fall into this trap, and particularly in the trades where, everybody wants everything done before Christmas. The world ends at Christmas. It's a very challenging time, but it can be different. And there's time still for you to make this different. And that's what I want to talk about today. And I want to invite you along to that very special workshop. I'm running it on the 9th of December, so plenty of time still. The idea is that I want to save as much of your sanity as possible before we get to the end of December. So let's get a bit honest about December. Let's start here. Here's what happens every single year, and we've seen it across hundreds of trade businesses. Your cash flow turns into a real guessing game. You've got jobs half done, invoices not chased, pile of quotes that are still waiting. The team starts asking about finish dates or bonuses, but you've got zero answers. The stress is spilling over at home. You're not necessarily present when you aren't there. You're feeling short-tempered, and your poor old partner's copping a lot of it, and the children. And then instead of switching off on your or switching off properly for your break, you're still trying to catch up on quoting, replying to emails, or fixing up the December mess during your shutdown. Or worse still, you kind of fall into the shutdown and a breakdown space because you're just so overwhelmed and exhausted. Does any of that sound familiar? Sadly, it's not uncommon, and we've worked with hundreds of tradies who've been there and come out the other side using some really simple systems. They're not fancy, they're not complicated, they're just real world, works in a trade business kind of strategy, something that everybody can put into place. And we're going to give you a bunch of tools and things to make it as simple as possible. Imagine this instead. You know exactly what money's coming in and what's still outstanding. You do all of this before the end of the year. Your crew has a clear finish date. They know what's happening in January, and they actually stop asking questions, well, at least questions of that nature. Your partner's not just informed, they're involved, and they're helping to steer the ship, so you're not feeling quite so overwhelmed and alone. You get to finish up a few days early, maybe even sneak in a lunch with the team or head into Christmas, actually feel like a break is coming instead of feeling that continuum of stress and overwhelm. And more importantly, you come back in January ready to go, not starting from scratch or not, really dragging your heels and bringing the overwhelm from this year into next. The truth is, it's not a pipe dream. It's what we call moving from chaos to control. We're going to walk you through how to do that exactly in the free 30-minute workshop. It's quick. We know you don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to make this no fluff and as quick as possible so you get the information that you require to make significant change really quickly. And we're talking about in some cases here, systems that only take 15 minutes a week. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. And I think that's the problem with so much of what is available out there in the coaching space or the financial space. It all feels overly complicated. And instead, we've come up with some systems that you can implement immediately off the back of this workshop that will mean that you can make significant change straight away in as little as 15 minutes a week. Now, look, this whole thing, it's not just a pep talk. I'm not going to rah-rah you into the end of the year and get you all excited and then not deliver. Instead, it's going to be really practical, very straight talking, no fluff. even though it has a bit of a fluffy name, but it's no fluff. The idea is that we really quickly get this unlocked for you in plain speaking, which is something that I'm sure that you understand here on the podcast that we do all of the time. I don't want to use big words or big systems or overwhelming stuff when you're already feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So the workshop's called Stop Working Through Christmas Again this year, Turn Chaos into Control Before Christmas. Bit wordy, bit fluffy, but still to the point. It's on December 9th. So if you're listening right up until 4 p.m. on December 9th, you can still register. We kick off at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that's Brisbane time, 5 p.m. Brisbane time, which is 6 p.m. down south, New South Wales and Victoria. It's 5:30 p.m. in South Australia. And Western Australians for you, I think it will be 3 p.m. It's only 30 minutes. We're going to get through all of this content in 30 minutes. There's no time for fluff. Wait, I'm going to talk you through what we're going to go through in a moment. And it's completely free. However, it is limited to only 100 spots. That's the bandwidth of the software that we use. So only 100 of you can come and join me. So here's what we're covering. Let's make it really clear. I believe there are 3 pillars to the system that we're talking about here, turning chaos into control. Pillar 1 is about cash flow. It's giving you the cash flow clarity that you need. We're going to give you our 15-minute weekly tracker that tells you exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and where you need to focus. Simple as that. We're going to remove all of the noise and all of the overwhelm, so you can just use that one tool to get the insight that you need to answer the questions that you need to answer so that you can have a great break knowing what's going on. Pillar 2 is crew and calendar control. So we're going to give you a wind down plan that our clients use and then some communication templates to keep your team on track so that your clients know what to expect and what's going on. Your team know what to expect and what's going on. So does your partner. You're in control of your calendar before the end of the year and as you build into next year. So you're coming back knowing exactly what you're doing. Your team are coming back knowing exactly what you're doing. And you have that clarity before you roll out into your break. So there's no more questions to be answered. And then finally, the third pillar is your January jumpstart. We're going to give you a checklist that ensures that you don't come back in a scramble mode. You'll already know what the plan is. You'll have that clarity. It'll be built out for you. You'll be far more in control than you ever have been in January before. Plus, on the other side, because we like to give away as much as we possibly can, we're going to give you a partner integration guide so that your partner can jump in and help you and hopefully remove a bunch of the stress and therefore the blow-ups that often happen at this very emotive, difficult time of year. We're going to give you those crew communication scripts so that you can navigate through this time with them. And then we'll give you the exact planning templates that over 150 trade business owners have and are currently using. So this isn't about some fancy system that hasn't been proven. It's about something that our clients use all of the time. So we know that it's proven to work. We know that it's simple to implement and we know that it can work for you too. Now, if you're sitting here and listening to this and you're still wondering whether that is worth your 30 minutes of your time, here's what a couple of clients have said about working with us. Since working with TIB, I actually took a proper holiday last Christmas for the first time in years. That was Bo and Ash from Bo & Co Construction. And then Big Will from Points Construction. I used to fly blind with spending. Now I know exactly where I sit with cash flow, which means that he can plan for family holidays, tool upgrades, all of it. And then Big Ben Holzbosch from Mower Heavy Diesel over in the west there. We've got systems now, not stuff just written down somewhere, real systems that run the business. That Christmas stress, well, it is gone. They're everyday tradies just like you. They were caught in the same loop that many of you will be finding yourselves in until they made a decision to do it differently. All right, this workshop's completely free. There's no catch, no upsell. It is just 30 minutes that could completely shift how you do December. I'm invested in changing your current trajectory if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. As I said, though, we are capping this to 100 people only. And why? Well, we want it to be real, we want it to be interactive, and we want it to be valuable. The webinars with 500 people on mute just don't deliver that. You don't get the opportunity to interact, and we really want you to be able to be impactful off the back of this. We want to make sure that you that do show up, the ones that are actually serious about change, are the ones that invest that time. So if you're sick and tired of another year ending in chaos, and you want to start showing up differently for your family, your team, and most importantly for yourself, and if you're ready to feel in control again, this is your opportunity to start to make some of those changes. So all you need to do is head to the show notes, or you can pop over to tradiesandbusiness.com.au, register for your free spot, lock it into your calendar. Reminder, that's December the 9th at 5 p.m. Brisbane time, 6 p.m. Daylight Saving Time, 5:30 p.m. South Australian time, and 3 p.m. Western Australian time. Lock it into your calendar and then show up ready to make Christmas feel like an actual break, because my goodness, you deserve it. So many of you are working your butts off. You really need that downtime. Now, if you are listening to this, you're already ahead of many of them. Don't let this be another year where December wipes you out and January hits you like a truck. Let me help you flip that script. I'm here for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the workshop. Hooroo.
You've been listening to Tradies in Business podcast with Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.